Princess Piddles is going to get some new jewelry. Welcome to another episode of Aston1936.com. In this video, it's going to be a bit of a departure. I'm going to start a new series that I'm calling the Maker series. And what I'm hoping to do here is focus on some of the individuals out in the Aston community that are making new solutions for the Aston Martins, generally the Gaydon era cars. So these are people coming up with great ideas to either replace a part you can't get anymore, or maybe a little styling upgrade or something like that. Today we're going to be talking about a new solution to give you shiny aluminum radio and HVAC dials. So this is an upgrade that Aston started to fit to the cars themselves in the later years, but if you have an early DB9 or Vantage, you can actually upgrade yourself now to this style of dial if you'd like. So these were made by maker Dan Sharp, and I reached out to Dan to see if he'd let me have a set of dials so I could start to look at it, and I thought about it for a bit. I still don't want to be a sponsored video. So we're going to do something a little bit unusual at the end of this video. I'm going to give away a free set of knobs for your Aston Martin. So all you need to do is stay tuned to the end and I'll explain how you can enter the contest for a free set of dials. So let me tell you a little bit about Dan Sharp. Dan is a true man in the shed. I had a little video chat with him after I reached out to him, and he was in his shed out in the back of his house. Dan is a self-professed tinkerer. He can't leave stock alone. He showed me pictures of his Mazda Miata MX-5 that he's done every modification you can do to it, and it looks fabulous. And he's got himself the exact same 2005 DB9 like I have, and he decided he wanted to start to tinker around with it a little bit and modernize it. So he wanted to upgrade the HVAC dials, and he saw that some of the later model DB9s had these sort of aluminum dials right from the factory. So we started searching for those dials online, and he found some place in the United States, I think, where they were insanely expensive, like over $1,000 for a set of 3 knobs. So he's a bit of a designer himself, and he has CAD skills, so he sat down and he designed the knobs. But he's not a machinist, so he reached out to a friend of his that works at a precision machine shop, and they've basically come up with these beautiful radio and HVAC push-on retrofit dials that you can easily add to your early Aston Martin or DB9 or Vantage. So come in for a closer look and I can show you what he's basically designed. So here we have these dials that are made from aircraft aluminum. These are not lacquered. This is actually their raw finish. They've just machined so perfectly. You can see the diamond knurling for the texturing on the side. And then I thought these might be just like black inset etched marks. These are actually slots, and they go all the way through. It'd probably be hard to see on camera. But basically, because the dials that are existing have a lighted marker on them, he wanted to let the light go through, so they've got this precision milled slot. If you look at the edges of it, they're actually tapered a little bit so that there's no sharp edge to catch you. And then you'll notice these aren't actually a full dial or knob. These are a push fit that slip over the existing dials. So this is going to mean that it's very easy for you as the end user to put them on. He thought about making a complete replacement dial, but getting the old dials out without breaking them can be a little bit terrifying. So he instead designed these caps basically that push on friction fit right over top the existing ones. And then if we look here a little closer at this is the volume knob. And if we get the light just right, you can see that they've actually engraved the finish for the power symbol that's exactly the same as the original knob. And the same thing where you can see the taper on the side, taper on the back edge, and it's hollow. And this is a push fit as well. And then over on the tuner knob, same thing, he has the music symbol engraved onto that as well. Now he tells me that if you prefer not to have the power or music symbols on there, he can of course have a set made with those deleted for you if that's what your taste prefers. So one thing he's also told me is that even though they look exactly the same for the DB9 and Vantage, there is a couple of thousandths difference on the actual size of the original fitted plastic knobs in the cars. So they're different parts between a DB9 and a Vantage. And this is his manufacturing, this is model style 1, which means DB9. And if it said 2, it would be Vantage. So if you're ordering for a Vantage, you'll just make sure you let them know that you need them for a Vantage. So another little detail is, I think it was around late 2007, 2008, Aston Martin started fitting aluminum dials for the HVAC controls into the cars, but they still had the plastic radio knobs. So if you were interested, you could reach out to him and he could just provide you a set of radio knobs that would also be in aluminum. Or because the knurling is different, I guess they have straight cuts on the sides of the factory standard ones. Maybe you're going to want to get a whole set anyways and go with the upgraded set from him. Alright, so what are my first impressions? Well, those of you that watch the channel know that I'm a mechanical engineer. I have some manufacturing background, and these things are absolutely finesse. They've been made so precision, it's really impressive to see. This isn't polished and lacquered. This is actually the machining from the CNC, and the knurling on the actual surface is fantastic as well. You can't see where it starts and ends. So I'm really impressed with the design and the fit that comes with it. The part that probably some of you out there are wondering about is, oh my God, you're changing it from stock. Well, I agree. I'm mostly a purist, but because Aston started to fit the machined aluminum knobs onto the later model cars, I don't think it's really that big a sin to retrofit them back to your early model car. So if you're a purist, just watch the video and enjoy. If you're somebody that's looking to add a little bit of jewelry to yours, a little bit more bling, like the glass button upgrade that I've done to mine, this might be something that's your cup of tea. So let me show you how easy it is to put these in. This is a 5-minute do-it-yourselfer job. It's very simple. And Dan has sent, basically the kit comes by mail. I'm in the United States, it came from the UK. He packed it really well, complete with a little thank you card and an instruction note that I'm going to follow for the video here. In the kit is also these little white dots. And what these white dots are adhesive pads. They just have their covers on them. So when you get in and fit your dials to your car, you may find that they just slip on all the way easily, and then because they're a cap, they might be loose. Well, then you would use an adhesive tab in behind to stick them to the existing knob. Now, he said that most of the HVAC dials are a gentle friction fit. So you have to push on, and they probably won't need an adhesive, or they might be a little stiff, and you might actually have to add some heat to warm these up to get them to slip on. So we'll see in a few minutes when I go to try and fit them to my car. He said the radio dials, though, absolutely will be a slip fit, and you're going to need to use the little adhesive pads. So let's head over to the car and try and get these installed. So here we are in the car. So we're going to basically start with the radio dials. And I mentioned already that these are a slip fit, and you can see they'll come right back off again. So this is where we're going to use the adhesive tab. And we're basically going to peel that off and stick it to the center of the button. And then we're going to remove the top cover. And once we have the top cover removed, you can basically see it's almost like a clear jelly that's on there. And you don't really have to worry about getting the vertical of the power button lined up with the vertical of that symbol, because this is basically a freewheeling knob. There isn't like a zero home position, and that's it. And you'll notice it's stuck on with a little push, And if I turn it, you know, basically I still have the ability to push the button in. It doesn't hit any of the side buttons, and that one's done. So let's go ahead and fit the second one. To this. And there we go. And you can see, same thing, I can still push the tuner knob in and out. So we've got the radio buttons fitted in probably about 2 minutes. So now we're going to change our attention to the HVAC dials. And these are a friction fit, or should be. And first tip he said was put them at the 12 o'clock position, because we definitely need to get the slot lined up with the lighted dial portion. And I'm going to just do a little test fit, and that's pretty snug. That's not going to push on unless I hammer it on. This one, let's try it. Okay, that one pushes on without any heat. That's basically on there already. And this one, now a tip he had shared also was that you could try doing this at night, so that you could have the lights on the car and you could see that you're successfully getting the indexing done. And this one's pretty stiff too. So now I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna remove these, and I'm gonna warm them up. So he talked, you can warm these up any way you want. You could basically put them in a Ziploc bag and dunk them in some hot tea. You could put them out in the sun if it's a sunny day and let them warm up. You could put them in the oven. If you have a heat gun in your shop, you could gently heat them up. You want them so you could still handle them, but warmed up, but don't overheat them so you screw up the finish at all. So I'm going to head out and heat up this button and come back in here and see if I can get it to fit. This thing's pretty hot. So now remember, once you put this on, it's likely to shrink. And there we go. So that one slipped on. So let's go heat up the last guy. And now the third button that's hot. There we go. And if we come in from above and have a close look, he pointed out that Aston Martin was pretty inconsistent with the button depths that they put on. And you can see maybe there's a fraction more of a gap between the back of this knob and the fascia, but from the driver's seat you can't really tell at all. Well, that was pretty simple. And you can see here I'm going to cut into a scene of a before, and here's the after. So you can see the beautiful bright finish of the knobs is showing, and you know, basically goes along quite nicely with the glass button upgrade that I put into the car. So what does it cost? Well, basically, Dan isn't trying to retire on this as an income. He's trying to sell them as inexpensively as possible. Basically, you can get a set for under 200 pounds, including shipping. The shipping varies a little bit depending on whether in the UK or you're somewhere out in the rest of the world. But basically, no matter where you are, I think you'll be done and dusted for under 200 pounds. If you live in the UK, soon you'll probably be able to get these right when you have your cars in for service at either Bamford Rose or at Aston Installations. I think they're going to come up with some sort of partnership to work with Dan and offer these for users that are coming by their shops, which is fantastic. So now for the contest. Again, I want to keep the transparency that I'm not a paid sponsorship, that I don't work for the people, makers or anything like that. I'm going to give away a set of dials. So here's how the contest is going to work. You need to email me, steve@aston1936.com, and your email needs to include, one, a subject line that makes some sort of comment about knob. The most creative subject lines might get a mention during the actual drawing. Inside the email body though, if you could please include your first and last name, your email address, and what year and model of Aston Martin you have. I am not going to use it as marketing literature for you. I don't sell anything. And then I'm going to put, let all of those emails come in. You have until Sunday, midnight, June 2nd, 2024, to submit your entry. And then I'm going to do a random drawing of all the people that have submitted their names. And I'm going to pick a winner, and I will announce it. I'll show the drawing and announce it as a YouTube short on my channel. I'll reach out by the email and let you know that you're the winner. If you want to include your cell phone number, that's optional, or your WhatsApp, so that I can text you and give you the news sooner, that'd be great as well. Now, if you miss out on the drawing, what I was going to do is send all of the emails along to Dan Sharp, and he's going to offer a discount code. So even if you don't win the free set, if you contact Dan at DannySharp@googlemail.com. I know it's not gmail.com, I checked. He says it's DannySharp@googlemail.com. He's had it forever. He will basically give you a 5% discount off the total for your purchase, as long as you mention Aston 1936 as a discount code. So that's great for him to sort of spread the the discount out to everybody that's watching, and I appreciate him offering that to my viewers. So try to win a free one, or at least get a discounted one if you're interested. And if you don't want to wait for the contest or the email, you can just reach out to Danny at that email address and mention the discount code and just purchase one right away. Again, he'll customize the set, whether you need just the HVAC dials or the radio dials, or if you want the little engraved music and power symbol. So just let him know what you're after. Dan's even got some future updates in mind that are 3D printed things for the little coin area that's in the center console to become a drink holder and things like that. So I look forward to seeing what he comes up with there. So what do you think of this upgrade? Is it something you put in your Aston? I'd love to hear your comments. Please leave those down below. What do I think? I would like them to be complete replacement knobs. I haven't told Dan yet. He's probably watching the video going, oh no, Steve, don't say that. I know he wants them to fit, be really easy for users to retrofit, which is fantastic, and he's achieved that. I'd like them to be the original factory size, just so they fit inset a little bit more, which would be kind of cool. But I'm happy with what I've got now. I think it's a tremendous product he's come up with. So maybe some version down the road will actually be a complete dial replacement. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get updated when new videos come out. Over here, you'll find a link to my companion blog, Aston1936.com, where I have other articles about Aston Martins. Up here, you'll see a link to whatever the next video I might release is, probably another Maker series. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments overall. Please leave those down below. Thanks for watching.